Hey everybody, welcome to Cast and Court TV. This is your girl, Miss Public Info here with the latest and greatest and sometimes hated updates of the most high-profile cases going on around the country. Okay, guys, this is a special episode, second episode today, because we got some breaking news and I want to talk about it because I talked about it a few days ago. This is about the SNAP crisis. This is what I'm calling it. It is the SNAP crisis. Of course, SNAP is a shorter acronym for food stamps, as otherwise known as EBT, et cetera, et cetera. Well, the same federal judge that ordered the Trump administration to pay the SNAP funds immediately on Monday, that same federal judge, Judge McConnell, coming out of Rhode Island, said to Donald Trump and his administration today, get the funds fully dispersed by Friday, meaning tomorrow. So let's talk about what went down in this hearing. And we are also going to talk about Trump's response because he did give one. Now, the federal judge on Thursday ordered that the Trump administration pay in full the SNAP benefits for November by tomorrow. This is rejecting the administration's plan to partially fund the food stamp program for the approximately 42 million Americans who are currently going hungry at this moment during the United States government shutdown. The judge said the following. Judge Jack McConnell said the following in the U.S. District Court of Rhode Island today. He said people have gone without for far too long, and of course, he's talking about people going without food. Of course, this has required many states to depend on food banks, and those food banks and other places to receive food, those places are running out of supplies. He continued on, he said, the evidence shows that people will go hungry. Food pantries will be overburdened and needless suffering will occur if SNAP is not fully funded. He went on, that's what irreparable harm here means. Last weekend, SNAP benefits lapsed for the first time in our nation's history, he said. This is a problem that could have and should have been avoided. Now, the order comes after the plaintiffs, which are several states and several nonprofit organizations, had urged him to reject the administration's plan. A disclosed court filing on Monday to only pay partial benefits. So after Trump went and said, well, this is what we're going to do, those plaintiffs in the case, states like Washington, D.C., states like Rhode Island, Massachusetts, I think it were like 15 states and multiple nonprofit organizations and charitable organizations who urged the judge to reject Trump's partial payment plan. And after this came through, the Trump administration later, Thursday, as the First Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals to overturn McConnell's order, they went and asked the First Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals to overturn McConnell's order to pay everything in full by tomorrow. This is what the Trump administration did. They appealed it immediately. McConnell, during Thursday's hearing, pointed to a Truth Social post by President Donald Trump, who on Tuesday said that SNAP benefits, end quote, will be given only when the radical left Democrats open up the government, which they could easily do, and not before, explanation point. But Judge McConnell said during that hearing that Trump's post on Truth Social was effectively an admission. It was an admission that the administration intended to defy the court order and to seek out all possible funding sources so that the court order to seek out all possible funding sources so that the benefits could be paid in full, essentially. He says the Truth Social post tells it all, that you all never intended to do the right thing. in short. That's basically what he says, that the Truth Social post that Donald Trump put up tells the whole story, that he intended to defy the court order no matter what. All he wants is his way, and that is it. Now, the Trump's social post seems to contradict statements by his administration's lawyers that the benefits would be partially paid for the month. The White House later said that it would comply with Judge McConnell's order, but then added that it would take issue uh, they would take to issue the partial benefits to the recipients. But of course, McConnell was hearing none of that. He said, no, the president's post on social media let me know all I needed to know, and it let me know that he had intended to defy the court order. Now, the Trump administration last week said it would not use a congressionally authorized contingency fund containing 4.6, I should just leave it at that, right? $4.6 billion to fund the SNAP program in November. And the cost of the full SNAP benefits for the month is probably around $8 billion. So anyway, we all know how this thing started, but again, guys, the judge is saying get it paid by Friday. You know what your walking orders are, your walking orders are here, Mr. Donald Trump. Get it paid by Friday. But Donald Trump is defying. He's being defiant. He's asking the First Circuit Court of Appeals to overturn the order from Judge McConnell. And so this will, you know, continue on. This will continue on. What I think is going on is that Donald Trump is buying time to get his way. He doesn't want to appear weak to his base. So what is he doing? He is just going to continue to ask or continue to, fight with the courts at the expense of human capital, essentially. People who are going hungry. Look, the last time I did a Snap episode, I had a bunch of racists on here, talking about how Black people are a bunch of drama and that we all need to get a job and that people just need to get a job. Listen, Black people, Latinos, white people, all kinds of people get Snap. Matter of fact, statistics show that Black people are probably the lowest on the totem pole to receive SNAP. That's the first thing you need to understand, you racists who will undoubtedly watch this and have something very racist to say because you guys are racist. That's what racists do. And again, Black people don't care that you don't like them. Big woof. Who cares? Who cares about you saying the N word? Who cares about you calling us apes? Who cares about you saying go back to Africa? Who cares about you saying get over slavery? Who cares about you saying all the derogatory things that you can find and think of to call Black people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? We don't care. The fact of the matter is that SNAP funds is not about race. It's not about color. It's not about creed. It's not about that. It's about humans. It's about being human. It's about helping people who need help. And we will always have homeless people among us. We will always have the poor among us because that is how it is. There's going to always be someone who needs help. And in this particular case, there are 42 million Americans who are recipients of the SNAP program. Meanwhile, Black people make up what, 13.1% of the country. So that is definitely not 42 million. So obviously, Black people are not the main recipients of SNAP. And I'm hitting that home because there are so many harmful stereotypes and propaganda going out there, especially among the Trump base, as it relates to, who the recipients are and all of that. And ordinarily, it wouldn't matter. But in this particular case, it does matter because people are utilizing this as a means to try and step on Black folks who, are just trying to live and mind their business every day. Okay. Nobody is out here trying to keep you from being great, whether you're white, Latin, whatever you might be, Asian, et cetera, et cetera. Nobody's trying to keep you from being great. We're just trying to live our lives just like everyone else lives their lives. And just like everyone else needs help from time to time, so does some segments of Black people in society. So please stop making this a color issue. Please stop making this about, oh, it's Black people on food stamps and this, that. That is so tired. so tired and so inaccurate on so many levels. I need a lot of people just to need I need a lot of people to get some education, go to school, learn about reading comprehension, learn how to read, learn how to comprehend, learn about statistics, learn about all of those things so you can understand what all of this means when you read it or when you hear it, because a lot of people just don't get it and they're just idiots. They're just idiots out here. And the main one I am seeing right now is Donald Trump. I'm like really getting mad about this whole situation because the fact of the matter is that why does it take several court orders for you to do the right thing? And what you're doing, what Donald Trump is doing, and what his ignorant racist base is agreeing to is basically leveraging human lives in the balance so that you can win. And I mean, it's got to be the pettiest thing one has ever seen or one has ever, you know, witnessed. I mean, it really is. Like Judge McConnell said, this is the first time in our nation's history where we've not had the benefits for the people who need them. And this is because Donald Trump just I want him to stop blaming everybody instead of taking responsibility, which is Donald Trump's problem, which is his problem is with accountability. It is an impossibility for him to take accountability whatsoever. We all saw what happened in the election just a few days ago, and the country has spoken. The country is tired of the BS. The greater portion of the country is tired of the BS. Many of the people who voted for Donald Trump feel hoodwinked. And by the way, you know, many of us told you you would be in the end. And the bottom line is, it's just a shame. It's just a shame. So, I mean, I don't even know what to say about it. I'm cutting the comments on this. Unless you're a subscriber, you will not be commenting on this particular post because I am not trying to hear it and I am not trying to have you disrespect my subscribers and people who, you know, come in with their opinions respectfully. So I'm not trying to hear. And I want to say the people who were commenting the most were white men, bigoted white men. Not all white men are bigots, but most of the racist comments were coming from bigoted white men. And they were saying things like, you know, oh, people just need to get a job. Black people are full of drama. You guys are the ones that need to go get a job and this, that, and the third. I erased those comments because they were so nasty and they were so disgusting. And a lot of people really wonder why they have such hard life. It's because of the energy that you put out there, the energy of hate that you put out there, because you hate black people so much. Every single chance you get, you try to blame the negativity that's going on, that you perceive to be negativity that's going on in the country, on us. Black people really wield no power in this country at all, which is the reason I mentioned the discrimination that I recently went through at the Las Vegas District Attorney's Office when I was having my job interview, and the Las Vegas District Attorney was very discriminatory towards me during that interview because we wield no power in this country whatsoever. And especially as a black woman, we don't. And so when we're seeing things like this or what's going on in the country right now, and the automatic comment is, oh, black people just need to get a job, without really thinking about the fact that black people aren't even the highest population of occupants in the country. And yet we need to go get a job. Many of us do have jobs. Many of us are not on food stamps. There are many other kinds of people that are on EBT, food stamps, SNAP, etc., whatever you want to call them. And many of those people are white. Many of them. And even with that, there is no shame. You don't hear black people telling white people that y'all need to get a job and you guys are this, that, and the third. We don't do that. We don't do that. We don't stoop to those levels because we don't need to. You know, I hate making a lot of this, talking a lot about race like this in this way, but I have to because moments like this bring this about. And it's because the Trump administration is a hate mongering administration. And, you know, in my time, I have worked with many Republicans in my career and have enjoyed wonderful relationships with them, wonderful professional relationships with them. And then there were some that were, just tolerant, and that's fine too. But I understood where they were and how they really felt about me. I knew what was happening there, make no mistake. But my point is that what I am seeing right now from the Republican Party and people who claim to be Republicans is not what I'm not seeing Republicans. I'm seeing a bunch of hate mongering racists who are basically offshoots of the Republican Party is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of mindless individuals who walk around talking about how, I am, oh, I am somebody who is a nonconformist and I think for myself. You don't think for yourself. You don't think for yourself because Donald Trump is telling you how to think. And what he's telling you is that instead of doing the right thing, you do what you have to do to win because that's all that matters. And you know what that kind of ideology comes from? It comes from someone who is a narcissist, which is who and what Donald Trump is. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about anybody. He doesn't care about you, the people who, are utilizing hate as your form of weapon. He doesn't care about the people, the 42 million people who are on Snap. He doesn't care about the people who are not on Snap. He doesn't care about the Republicans and his party. He doesn't care about anybody. He cares about himself and probably his gold toilet that he spends a lot of his time on. Okay? Like literally, like if we want to call that a spade, that's really what it is. It's just really sad. It's really sad that this is what it's come to. And then you wonder why there was that huge blue wave a few days ago around the country because people are tired. They're tired of being bullied. They're tired of being told if they don't do this, then this is gonna happen. Blah 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 blah. This is it. This is it. And may this be the greatest lesson to everyone in the country that you never allow this to happen again. You never allow a charlatan, a con man to come into this country the way Donald Trump has come in and bamboozled the Republican Party, bamboozled the GOP. People in the GOP don't even like him. Like real patriots really don't really like him. Okay? You never should have allowed this charlatan, this con man to come in and bamboozle your entire party and take over and bamboozle the millions of Americans just because, he has, comes from money and has some wealth that all of a sudden he was going to make you wealthy. That was never going to happen. That was never part of his plan. It was part of his lie and his con so he can get in where he wanted to be and get all the power because that's all he cares about. But he never cared about any of you having wealth like him. He doesn't want you to be as wealthy as him. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So you get what you get when you get it because you allow someone like him in office. Okay, so the next bit of news that I have while I have you guys here is the Antonio Brown of it all. So Antonio Brown has been extradited from um, Dubai to the United States to face an attempt murder charge. Now, this all stems from 5 months ago back in Miami when Antonio Brown, there was a warrant for his arrest because of an altercation that he got into back in May 16th, following a celebrity boxing match event. Now, several videos, you guys probably saw them on TMZ, you probably saw it on all over social media, showed that, Antonio Brown at the time had been handcuffed. Now, Brown claimed that police detained him, but they let him go the same night. He also claimed on social media that he was jumped by multiple people who tried to steal his jewelry and cause harm to him. He even said that he would speak to his attorneys about pressing charges against those individuals. However, about a month later, a warrant was obtained by a news outlet, the Washington Post, and it stated that police received video footage showing Brown punching a man and then appearing to take the gun of a security officer and run towards the individual. Okay. And then two shots were heard after that. The alleged victim in the case told investigators that a bullet possibly grazed his neck and that he went to the local hospital for treatment. Now, according to the warrant, People in the parking lot, the patrons in the parking lot, told the police that Brown was definitely the shooter. So they have witnesses, they have video, and so he has now been extradited from Dubai. They don't say why he was in Dubai. He could have been on vacation. Who knows what he was doing in Dubai? I'm not sure. But he was extradited today. Back to the United States, likely Miami, where all of this went down on the attempt murder count. And so he will be in court and they will get the ball rolling on that, on what the bail looks like, and, arraignment, et cetera, et cetera. So wanted to get those two things out. As it relates to the latest and greatest, this is a special episode of Cast and Court TV. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I appreciate you. And again, to you racist trolls out there, could care less what you think about me as a woman, what you think about me as a black person, what you think about other black people. We don't care. We're going to continue to be great, and you guys continue to be miserable and hateful and your meaningless little lives. All right, guys, thanks so much. Appreciate you, and I'll see you soon.